In this video, let's do a furniture flip. I want to bring this second-hand desk back to life, updated, and make it more modern. I'll take you through all the steps and as well as mention all the products I use to transform this desk. Here is the before. There are lots of markings on the tabletop and the chair's looking a little bit weathered, but it's a good sturdy piece of furniture. Here are the products and paint materials that I am using to make this project happen. To protect the floors and catch paint spills, I am using the Hamilton's Super Soaker. And I'm working outdoors for the sanding part. I'm using a combination of different sanding methods, one sanding with a sander's block in your hand and the other one using an orbital sander. I'm using the Hamilton sandpaper in an 80 grit and I'm using a sander's block and securing that on the sander's block. And I find sanding by hand the delicate parts of the furniture is easiest, as well as curved edges, just where the orbital sander wouldn't sit well. I'm using my sander's block. I'm also using my Hamilton scraper and I'm basically scraping off the bits of furniture that are very weathered and need to come off to make this paint job and revival look that much better. I want to keep the tabletop in its natural wood finish, so that requires some sanding to get rid of the old stain, the old finish, as well as some of the markings that are on this table. To do a really good sanding job, I've decided to do it in increments and different sessions with different grit papers, starting from a 60 grit and then working my way up to 220. So starting at 60, wiping it down, then 80, then 120, and then finishing off on a 220 grit. Once your sanding is done and you've wiped off the excess sawdust, you can get to priming, which is such an important step that you do not want to miss. I am using Plascon's multi-surface primer. It's great in adhering to any surface really. As you noticed, I did not sand the legs of this table because the primer is really good at adhering and sticking and preparing the surface for your final coat of paint. And I'm applying all the different paints in the Hamilton's Paint Specialist fiberglass paintbrush. For my final coat of paint, I decided to use Plascon's Trade Pro in enamel black. I already applied the first coat after the primer and I allowed that to dry 16 hours overnight, so I'm just showing you the second coat is what I'm applying. And basically it does take long to dry, but it's so worth it because of the high gloss finish. And I'm just finishing all the sections of the desk that I want to paint in this high gloss enamel finish. And I've only used 2 coats because everything was primed beforehand. The final step is to apply a clear sealer onto my wood, and I'm using Plascon's Paint Effects in a water-based glaze coat in a matte finish. Here is the before, and here is the after. It looks so updated, refreshed, really modern, contemporary, and just given new life, which is what furniture flipping is all about. Taking a unique piece of furniture and bringing it right up to date. We hope you enjoyed this DIY project and this furniture flip. We hope you feel inspired to maybe visit your local secondhand store. And remember to repurpose, reuse, and upcycle. Follow us for more DIY projects like this one.